What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Kari Show. I'm Kari Thompson, and today I wanted to switch it up and do a quick video, maybe to help out some beginner guitar players. So if you're someone who's been watching my videos and thinking, hey, learn how to play guitar would be pretty cool, but I don't know where to start, I've got a couple books that you might want to get started with. I've got 3 books that back in the day when I was a kid taking lessons, my guitar teacher started me on these books. So I figured I would just share them with you guys, so that if you want to start taking a couple minutes a day and practicing, and you just want to learn the basic concepts and you're kind of on your own and you don't really have a tutor, you could get started with these books. So the first book I will start off with is the complete edition of the Hal Leonard Guitar Method. So this is actually 3 books in one, and it'll take you step by step one of the most important pieces of playing guitar, which is learning how to play music. It'll literally teach you note by note, string by string, how to read music. It'll get you a few basic chords to get started with in book 1. Basically, book 1 is all the notes in first position, and a little bit of strumming and picking. And they've got some songs that you can learn as well, that they use as a teaching tool. Book 2, you get a couple more chords, you get into power chords, you get into some more complicated things like pentatonic scales, which are some of the scales that you can use to start soloing. You can get into some improvisation, and some tabs. And then book 3, of course, you start getting into bar chords and the major, minor, pentatonic, chromatic scales for more soloing. And you start getting into some of the stuff that makes the guitar start sounding really cool, like slides, hammer-ons, pull-offs, those sort of things. So if you can work your way through these first 3 books, especially book 1, if you just want to learn how to, if you want to learn how to read sheet music, which is definitely one of the key things to start with, get started with this. I mean, it'll be super simple, super basic. I mean, this is the thing that'll take you back to, okay, what's a whole note? What's a quarter note? What's a half note? What are those squiggly things? What do they look like? So definitely, if you're a super duper beginner, I would definitely, focus on learning how to read music and working your way through these songs. Definitely a good one to get started with. The next book I will give you is also by Hal Leonard. This is called The 100 Greatest Songs of Rock and Roll. I believe one of the key to learning guitar or any instrument is learning how to play songs and, basically imitating music that you like. So I'm not a big rock and roll guy, but there are some quality songs on here that are a lot older than I am, but they are considered classics. And what I like about this book is if you flip through it, they'll have the music on there. So if you want to actually read the music and practice what you learned from, the complete edition of Hal Leonard, you can, but they also have tabs. They also have what you call tab literature, which is another way of reading music, but it's much more simple. And in a separate video, I'll go into how to read and write tabs. But basically, there's 2 methods for how to read music in this book, and they include the easier way and the standard way, so that's really good. There's some pretty cool songs in here. There's a lot of the Beatles, there's some Jimi Hendrix, there's some Led Zeppelin, there's some Bob Dylan. Definitely folks you should be familiar with in the guitar world. These are, as a I wouldn't call myself an advanced player, but as someone who's kind of intermediate and been through the training and stuff like that for a number of years, these are easy versions of the songs. You're not gonna be, you know, rocking along and sounding exactly like Jimi Hendrix after you work your way through this book, but it's enough for you to play along and get an idea of what the music might sound like. And it's pretty fun to learn a couple tunes that might be able to impress your friends. The third book I will give you is also by Hal Leonard. I swear I'm not sponsored by Hal Leonard, but this is just the route my teacher took in terms of teaching me. I started guitar lessons when I was 6, and I took them all the way up through pretty much until I started high school. So, you know, it's you know, about 10 years of guitar lessons. So I figured I turned out all right, so I'll just start passing along some of the knowledge. This is called Blues You Can Use. This is kind of similar to the 100 Greatest Hits songbooks in that it has notes and it has tabs. But I feel like if you really want to learn guitar and you're really into something, you should kind of pick an area of emphasis, like a genre of music that you really like, you really enjoy, that you want to deep dive more into. So, you know, as I kind of evolved and, you know, started to create my own sound and kind of develop my taste for music as a young adult, you know, I kind of thanked my guitar teacher for giving me a little bit more of a bluesy foundation with this song, and just teaching some of the concepts, you know, string bending and using the whole fretboard, and, you know, just learning some of the blues progressions. So it definitely impacts your songs, because learning the blues, man, the blues is widely sampled across a lot of genres of music, but hip hop especially. And if you watch my content, you know that I'm a big hip hop guy. So definitely check out Blues You Can Use. And just to summarize this video, you've seen the 3 books, and I would say if you're a beginner, man, go out there, learn how to read music, because, you know, all your favorite songs are going to be written down somewhere, and you can eventually learn how to play them. I would also learn how to play tabs, because tabs are, they're not the official way of reading music, but they are quite a bit easier, especially if you're a beginner, to understand. It's written in a format that I think our brains are just more, you know, adapted to understand. And I would learn some songs. Go out there, learn your favorite songs. You can look up tabs online of pretty much any song. I mean, the internet's out there, man. There's so many tabs that people have kind of compiled for you to learn. And then once you've got the basics down, once you've got your basic notes, your chords, you know, a couple scales, start learning things that will help you improvise, and kind of pick a style of music that you like, and deep dive into that and start to get a little bit of an understanding. So that's what I did with Blues You Can Use. So in the end, 3 books: Complete Method, 100 Greatest Songs, and Blues You Can Use. That's the way I started back in the day, almost 15 years ago, and it served me well. So go ahead, get out there, get some practice time in, and keep watching the Car Show for more tutorials and info about guitars. All right, everybody, thanks. Bye.